Hey, it's Friday Tea Lounge, and this is Skylar with my friend
Emily.
And I never did the friends video, so she's going to talk with me on this video about not being trans enough. So I don't think I'm trans enough because I haven't been bullied, so I don't go to group therapy like my therapist keeps telling me I should think about doing, because I don't think I'm trans enough because I haven't been beaten in hallways. What's your opinion on someone being trans enough?
That's so awkward. You don't think you're trans enough because you haven't been beaten up.
Well, because it's like most people have been bullied at some point, and I'm fortunate to have escaped bullying, but so I don't feel like I have the right to speak as like someone who needs help in therapy because I haven't had major issues with that.
Well, just because you have major issues with that doesn't mean you're not trans enough. I mean, like, obviously you pass, but it's like, sometimes when we go to the mall you do, because no one knows you. But like, I don't know, because like, I don't think just because you get beat up in the hallway means you're more trans than other people who don't get beaten up in the hallways.
That's just my self-conscious thing. I actually don't think there's such thing as being trans enough or not trans enough, because a lot of the trans community feels that being trans enough is like, if you don't have top surgery, you're not trans enough. If you don't want bottom surgery, you're not trans enough.
We actually did that in English. We had a debate about that, actually.
About?
Not what's passing for being trans. It was actually really interesting.
Oh, wow.
We
You guys
did.
they had a conversation about something trans-related in a classroom.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
No, it was for English. And
Well, what was the classmate's consensus?
Well, because it depended, because it was our, bonanza. It's like a...
Into the camera. No, come this way.
Fine. There were 2 girls and 2 boys in the group, and the girls dressed up like guys, and the guys dressed up like girls, which was actually really funny because Mark shoved socks down his shirt.
Okay.
It was funny. But, so the consensus came that, Jeff, who just dressed like a girl and did not want to get surgery of any kind, was not considered trans. I don't know why, but I personally voted that everyone was, but that was just me. And then Lauren, who dressed up like a guy and also had surgery, quote, quote, not really, because it was just a demonstration, was considered trans. Mark, who dressed up as a girl and got surgery, was considered trans, and there was one other person, who, it was a girl who lived her life as a guy, dressed like a guy, and she was considered trans, but for Jeff's case, he just dressed like a girl. He didn't live his life as a girl. He dressed like a girl.
Oh, okay. Well, then
so it's more like
trans.
No, it's more like a drag queen than anything.
Okay. So the general public consensus of her 4 people in her...
the entire class.
Her entire class in this English class?
English, yeah. AP
11. Yeah. AP 11 English class was that if you lived as the opposite sex, then you were transgender. And so that's actually surprising because a lot of the trans community feels that if you don't have surgery, you're not transgender. So it's really surprising that other people are more open to the idea of, like, you can have a spectrum of transgenderness rather than actually needing to have surgery. A lot of the trans community feels like, oh, if I'm a trans man, I don't want to, like, have bottom surgery, I'm not trans enough. Or if I don't want to be on T for more than a year, I'm not trans enough. And, like, a lot of, like, the male to female feels like if you don't have a boob job, if you don't have bottom surgery, you're not trans enough. Or, like, if you don't pump iron, if you're FTM, you're not trans enough, you can't be femme. So, I don't know. That was actually really interesting. Really convenient for the video.
It was very convenient. You were talking about that, and I was like, I don't really know what I'm going to say. But then I was like, oh yeah, I remember we had a conversation about this in English class.
So this is kind of a video with friend, and it is a video about not being trans enough. I personally sometimes have issues with it, but I don't believe that...
It's trans enough.
Thank you. But I don't believe that you have to do certain things to be trans enough.
That's a good consensus.
Yes. So, goodbye, happy weekend, and look forward to Cameron's video tomorrow.